What's going on YouTube? Tim from Tim's Two Wheel Life here, and I've got a bicycle maintenance video for you today. The difficulty rating on this video is 1 flip-flop, as easy as it gets. So some of you have seen by what's on the table what our video is going to be about today. It's going to be about chain cleaning. And what I have here is a shop rag. Doesn't even have to be super clean. It can be one of your oily rags that you've used before. And in this instance, I have a Park Cyclone chain cleaner. Various different makers make them. It's all basically the same design, same concept. Chain goes in one end dirty, comes out the other end clean-ish. And then you keep doing that until it comes out clean. So how this works is, this one's kind of gunky. I gotta make sure I don't spill it. You're gonna pop these clips off, take the top off, and inside you'll see there's brushes. This one's for cleaning the sides of your chain. This one's for cleaning in between the links. And then the top also has a brush. Normally here there's a sponge, but they never last very long with me. And I don't really need it because I use the rag. So what you're gonna do, run your chain through here, put the top on, secure the clips, and then right here there's 2 fill holes, and you're going to pour whatever solvent you're going to be using in there. And that's the question, right? What solvent do I use? You can use just about anything. I had one bike shop owner tell me to use dish soap and water, which I'm not a big fan of because, you know, water kind of causes corrosion, or at least helps corrosion form. So what I use is undiluted simple green. Usually I buy it in a 1-gallon jug, and I'll get 6 months worth of chain cleaning out of that. So today we're going to clean Bella's chain. Let's get to it. As you can see here, folks, Bella has been a dirty girl and she needs a good chain cleaning. So I've got my Park Tool Cyclone. I've already put the simple green in there. And on the bottom of the chain, as it runs between the rear derailleur and the chain ring, I'm just gonna put the chain right in there, grab my top, and you'll see that these spin inside of their housing. Put the clips up, grab a hold of the crank, and start pedaling backwards. I suppose you could go forwards, but then your wheel's going to start spinning. And you do have to kind of hold the handle and you'll feel it getting cleaner and cleaner. It'll start off really rough and then it gets smoother and smoother as your chain gets clean. And this is one of the reasons why I use simple green, is because it's a pretty messy job. And you don't want, if you use some of the harsher solvents, then you have to worry about it getting into the environment, eating away your shop floor, your hands. But simple green's biodegradable. So I can already tell that the chain's getting cleaner. It's soaking wet with simple green. And you can see how much dirt's already coming off. This chain wasn't too bad. I always take this time to look for any chain links that are frozen or bent. And what you'll see is as you're pedaling backwards, when you reach the frozen link, your derailleur will kick a little as it's trying to go through that space. Then I kind of feel of it. Get myself another clean-ish spot. Run it through there. And then you have to give the simple green time to dry off. So I usually give it about 20 minutes. Since we cleaned our chain, now we don't have any lubrication on it. So part of cleaning the chain is re-lubricating it. And I've got here a few options. There are many, too many to talk about in one video. But these are 3 that I had laying around here. And we'll start with the thinnest of the lubricants, which is the Tri-Flow in the middle. And I treat that mostly as WD-40 like. It's real thin, pretty watery. It'll get down in all your nooks and crannies. I use it for derailleur, pivot points, just to get in there and make sure things are moving smoothly. I don't use it on the chain. There's too much dirt gets on the chain. The wet lubes have a tendency to attract the dirt and then make it stick there, which is going to grind away at your chain faster. The Pedro's here, it's wax based. It's Pedro's Ice Wax. And basically it's a wax dissolved in a solvent. And then when you put it on your chain, the solvent evaporates, leaving the waxy film behind, which is what your lubrication comes from. As the chain goes around, the friction melts the wax back into a liquid, but only in the spots where there's friction. So as dirt is trying to land on your wax that's not in a friction point, it doesn't stick. It's like dropping dirt on an unlit candle, right? And then here's my old standby, Shield T9. By far my favorite that I've found so far. Not to say that the others aren't any good, just this one is my favorite. It's also a paraffin wax base, created by Boeing. But please, whatever you do, do not use WD-40 as a lubricant. It's not a lubricant, it's a water displacer, which is what the WD comes from. And it attracts every kind of dirt known to man and makes it stick there and then turns into a gooey mess. Do not use WD-40. Now let's lube up Bella's chain. Bella's chain is sparkly clean. The simple greens had time to dry off, and now it's time to lube her back up. I chose the Pedro's Ice Wax. And the way I normally do it, I used to go through link by link, tie a little piece of string on one of these, go link by link to make sure I hit every link. Of course, that was back before kids, school, work. So what I do now is I'll take the base of my hand right there and I'll rest it on this chain stay. And I'll flip it over, kind of like a baby bottle, and pedal backwards while I'm applying a little pressure to the bottle. And you're not going to get every link each time around, and it's not a perfect science. But you can hear the chain start to make a different noise as it gets lubed. One thing that I don't do is I don't lube the cogs. It just attracts way too much dirt. Way too much dirt. And they're much harder to clean, as you'll see in one of our upcoming videos. So I let the chain be the lubricated surface. I let that soak in a little bit. Keep spinning it around, getting the lube in everywhere. And we're going to let that dry for about 2 hours before we go on a ride. But Tim, I don't have 2 hours before I go on a ride. Well, okay. And I guess you'll have a dirty chain when you get back. Or you could spray some WD-40 on it. Go out there and ride and come back and clean it right up. Then I'll take my same rag and just lightly, the lightest little bit of pressure, just enough to soak up what's between the links. Then we give it a couple hours, she'll be done, ready to ride. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one.